Hello, my name is Ripley. Welcome to the video.
Hey, what's up, schmucks? Today, we continue our Christmas movie marathon with Shazam. Last year, during my Movie of the Year video, I said Shazam was 2019's best superhero film, and I still stand by that. But when I chose to review this movie for the Christmas marathon, I knew I couldn't do it alone, so I decided to seek some help. For this review, I enlisted the help of fellow YouTuber and streamer Nostora Nonstop. Nostora plays some of the hottest games releasing on his YouTube channel, as well as over on his Twitch channel. For YouTube, he's been doing Spider-Man Miles Morales and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and on his Twitch, he's making his way through Cyberpunk 2077 as a Twitch exclusive. His links are down below if you'd like to support the homie. Nostora and I spoke on this movie for nearly an hour, but as you can see, I whittled that down. However, if you are interested in our full conversation full of tangents and wacky jokes, the extended cut is the latest episode of my podcast, the G Words Podcast. Those links are also down below. Alright, let's review Shazam. How many superhero Christmas movies are there? Because there's this one, and then there's Iron Man 3, and I think that's it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Iron Man. Yeah. Aside from that, I think that's it. Just Shazam and Iron Man.
Which is the better superhero Christmas movie? That's the real question.
Well, I think that this one is, to be honest.
I agree. I think of the new DC movies, like the DC Universe movies, this one's probably my favorite.
I agree. I enjoyed Aquaman, but this one definitely takes the cake.
I agree. There's something about this movie. It's so endearing, and it's just a good movie.
Totally agree. 100%.
So when the movie opens up, we're introduced to our villain as a child. So I guess we should discuss the villain, Dr. Savannah. What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, he's a bit of a man-child, I'm not gonna lie. His whole motivation is kinda,
What is his motivation? I don't remember. Is it just he wants to take over the world?
Well, I think he's just, his whole life he threw a hissy fit because he wasn't deemed worthy. That part, I felt was a little weak.
Actually, while we're talking about the villain, what's up with the Sins? Because it's said constantly that the Sins are just using Savannah as a vessel. But what are they gonna do? What's their plan? Is that ever revealed? I don't remember that being a thing.
I don't think it was ever talked. I think they just wanted to take over the world.
Lame.
That sort of lame supervillain trope.
Yeah, this movie is heavily based on the New 52 comic run of Shazam, which is very good. But in that one, the Sins all have distinct color schemes and designs, and in this they're just weird gray monsters.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I thought Lust was going to be a lot hotter.
Lust, who I thought was going to be way hotter, if I'm being honest.
But
they were gonna get Scarlett Johansson for that role, but she backed out.
Oh shit! They should have kept her.
They should have kept her. She said she could play anything. Remember that? She's like, I can play a tree. That was a big deal for a while.
Oh man.
You tell him yourself.
I couldn't tell any of the monsters apart. They all look different, yeah, but I couldn't. If you pointed at one and said name it, I couldn't do it.
The only one I knew was Gluttony because he was a big fat blob.
Oh, is he the one who's his whole chest was a mouth?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy's cool looking.
That's the only one I knew. All the other ones, I was like, I don't know who's who, what's what.
Yeah.
Oh, and Envy because he was the little skinny guy.
Oh, that's right. He's the little runt of the litter. That's what Shazam calls him in the end.
Yeah.
And he goats him out. I do agree that his whole thing is I'm not worthy. Wah. He's real pissy about it.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you remember, but specifically in the beginning, after the car that child Savannah is in, it spins out in the middle of the road, and then the truck runs into it. That always bothers me because you would clearly see it. It's sitting in the middle of the road. That always pisses me off. Every time I watch this movie, that upsets me.
And the fact that they don't hear the car coming towards them.
Yeah.
I'm what's going on?
That happens a couple times in this movie.
Totally ignoring everything.
Yeah. Towards the middle when Billy learns how to fly, he floats above the road and gets slammed by a semi truck. He didn't see a guy floating and he wouldn't stop.
Yeah, really.
Jeez, people in the DC universe can't drive apparently.
Apparently not. At least the Shazam scene was funny where he gets hit by a car.
After that, we're introduced to Billy Batson. What do you think of Asher Angel as Billy?
I'm not super familiar with the character. I know a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But I really liked him as Billy Batson.
Me too. He's really good.
The one thing thing I do like about Billy is once his family or like his mom says kind of, you know, I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
He clicks and he's like, fuck, like my family is the people that I would bleed
Exactly,
for, not
yeah.
the people who I share blood with.
Exactly. I know that's towards the end of the movie, but I do want to talk about that scene because that's so different for a superhero movie. Because normally it's the parents are dead or they're separated, but they never stop looking for their kid. And in this, it's like, yeah, you disappeared from me, but I realized I didn't want you and I couldn't take care of you, and I don't care anymore. And it's so heartbreaking, but it's so different. I like that a lot.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that they kind of changed up that trope a little bit. It makes you feel for Billy.
Exactly.
Really
because when he leaves her, he gives her the little keychain thing, and she's even like, "What is this?" And that's kind of that's the real click where he's like, "This woman is not family anymore. She doesn't want me.
She doesn't even remember what this is."
Exactly, yeah. Because in his mind, that was such a big thing, and for her, it's like a little blip on her radar.
Yeah, and I liked how they did show the two different sides, like in Billy's memory of it.
Yes, so good.
So much brighter. It's so much brighter, and then in hers, it's so dark.
Exactly.
And you're like, wow, like there's such a contrast here.
Exactly, that shift in perspective. That's something that really pushes this movie above for me. Like, there's little details like that make this a good rewatch on different watching it. I can't talk.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It's all good.
So yeah, back to the beginning. We have Billy, and he's looking for his mom and whatnot. And then he gets taken into this foster home. I like the foster family in this. They're all fun. They're like good characters, and they're likable.
Yeah, they're so like they all have their own little quirks. And
yeah.
They're all like it's a very wholesome moment, and you're like, Billy, just stay, man.
Billy, they like you.
This is a good place for you.
Exactly. That's another thing that this movie like flips on its head, because normally foster families are like really abusive and rude and they're cruel and whatnot, like in Harry Potter and other movies, but here they're like really supporting and loving.
Well, I think the parents, the foster parents, they were also foster kids.
Yeah, that's mentioned. Like,
they want to do good by the kids, and they want to. Yeah, I really like that. It really changes that whole movie stereotype.
Exactly. Yeah, I like seeing foster families like done accurately instead of being monsters all the time.
Yeah, because that's not always like I'm sure that's not the case at all.
Oh, right? Definitely not.
Yeah, it's good to see. For sure.
And then we get Freddie Freeman, who is played by, can't remember his name, but he's in It and a couple other things. But he's great. He's so good.
He's so funny.
He's hilarious.
Honestly, he's hilarious. Yeah. He knows, and he's so on top of like all the different superheroes. Yeah, this is my bullet that was shot at Superman. And blah blah blah.
This is a batarang.
Yeah, it's a replica, but I mean, it's cool as heck. Yeah.
I think the reason I like that character so much though is because that's a lot of what I'm like. I'm like, this is my action figure of Spider-Man from this movie, and this is my picture of Spider-Man from this comic book. That's a lot of what I'm like, and I see this character, I'm like, that's cool. I feel represented.
Yeah, it's cool. And I liked that everybody in the foster home, it wasn't just a sort of whitewash family.
Exactly. I mean? Very diverse.
Exactly. It's good to see some of that in film.
I agree. The parents are pulling a real Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt. they want one of every flavor.
Yeah, really. Oh man, that's funny.
It's kind of foreshadowed throughout the movie, but the powers that they get in the end, they're all like sprinkled in. Like Pedro gets super strength, and he has like the weights early in the movie. And then the Asian kid, I don't remember what his deal was. What powers did he have?
I think he had lightning, didn't he?
Yeah, he had electricity because he was the tech guy. He was like, I play Watch Dogs. It's like stuff like that throughout the movie, like those little details. And I only noticed that like watching it now, and I was like, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think I picked up on Darla's really early because she's a motor mouth.
Yeah, and she's like super speedy all the time.
Yeah, exactly. So you're like, hey, like
super speed.
Looking back at it, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, it makes sense why you're fast.
What's Mary's deal, though? Does she have a special power in the end? I don't remember her doing a lot.
I think she's just kind of there.
Yeah, I think so, too.
They don't really focus too much on her.
That's a shame. She could have done the thing.
She could have done the thing.
She could have done the thing!
You never know what thing she could have done until she did it.
Exactly. Billy escapes on the subway, and he ends up at the Rock of Eternity, and he meets the wizard.
Oh, yes.
What's going on with that? It's like, if you get on the train, does it teleport you to a different train, or is it all in your head? Because like people disappeared from the train. What's going on?
Yeah. So that was actually a question I was thinking about the other day when I was watching it. I was like, so if everybody disappeared for him, did he disappear for everybody else? Or
Yeah.
is he still on the train?
Yeah, like is he like
And it's
asleep on the train? And if so, like does he just turn into Shazam on the train? Like what's going on with that?
Yeah, because if he said Shazam in his sleep, like did the lightning bolt pierce through and he's just huge and swole, and how did nobody notice this?
Yeah, or did he like teleport to the Rock of Eternity, then teleport back on the train and nobody bat an eye? It happens with Savannah in the beginning too, because he's in the back of a car, and then he's in like in an empty car. Look what's going on.
I think with Savannah's thing, it was more of like a time paused in the car with his dad and his brother.
Yeah.
But he mentally went somewhere like to the Rock of Eternity.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then he snapped back and the scene continued
Yeah.
how it was supposed to continue. But with Billy's, it just felt different. Like it wasn't the same.
Yeah, it just kind of happens.
You'd think that all these other people later on who were reporting going there would have some similar instance.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I'm off to go to work. I'm gonna have a great day. Oh my god, what is happening?
Where am I?
I really love the first night that Billy spends as Shazam with Freddy, and they're going around doing shenanigans. I think that is a amazing sequence in like every way.
It's so good, man. It's because it's that. What would a kid do?
Exactly.
In that instant?
Yeah. Like I remember
It's
when
so
I was a kid, I would always have that. I was like, oh, if I had Spider-Man's powers, what would I do right now?
Yeah, exactly. I can tell you, I'd be sitting on my roof having this, or on my ceiling having this conversation with you.
Exactly. I'd be hanging from a web right now.
Exactly.
Maybe I'd be web swinging. Who knows?
Who knows, man?
But I also think that every joke in this movie, at least for me, every joke in this movie lands. I don't think there's a joke in this movie that I don't laugh at, like every time I watch it.
It's definitely funny. I caught myself laughing the entire time.
Yeah, me too.
Like the whole way through. So the jokes were just A+.
That's something I find with a lot of superhero movies. Definitely with a lot of Marvel ones, where the comedy wears thin on repeat viewings, but not on this one for me.
I agree. I mean, Spider-Man is different for me.
Yeah, those movies they're actually my favorite Marvel movies.
I agree. They're also my favorite. Spidey's a big influence on me. So
yeah, me too. I saw you got that tattoo. I respect that.
Thanks, dude.
I want a Spider-Man tattoo so bad.
I'll tell you, this one didn't hurt too much.
I have a couple of them, but they're like smaller ones.
Oh, I got you.
One of my favorite sequences in this movie is the convenience store sequence, where Billy and Freddy want to buy some beer. They're like, "Oh, you're older, so we're just gonna grab it and leave." And then they happen to be there during a mugging. Everything from that sequence, from the beginning to the end of it, I think is absolutely fantastic.
Oh, it's great. It's, like he gets shot and he's just like, "Oh,
it tickles."
Cool.
I enjoy that.
Like,
right as they walk in, he hides behind Freddy, which I think is hysterical.
He's like, "Yeah, no, wait, I'm the big guy."
He's like, "I'm the superhero. You're the disabled kid. I'm gonna hide behind you."
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, he's still adjusting, so he's like, "Hang on,
I got this.
I'm still kind of a piece of shit."
Yeah. Actually, I want to talk about this here. Zachary Levi as older Billy is so good.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think I had the first time I saw this to now, I never get a disconnect between him and young Billy. They just feel like the same character.
Oh, 100%. He's just bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
He's just more swole.
I think Zachary Levi would have been a really good Nathan Drake in an Uncharted movie. I think he's got that charm to him.
Yeah, I could see it.
Instead, we're getting Tom Holland. I'm not happy about it. We don't got to talk about it. I don't like it.
Oh man, yeah.
I love Tom Holland, but he's not Nathan Drake. Not my hashtag. Not my Nathan Drake. I'm gonna start that somewhere.
Hashtag not my Nathan Drake.
Hell yeah.
He gets into an argument with Freddy about...
That's a good argument, too.
Yeah, he basically lays him out. Freddy does, I mean.
Yeah.
He gives him the what and tells him that he's using his powers irresponsibly.
The Savannah Shazam chase/fight sequence, I think, is okay. There's a couple jokes in there that I really like. When he throws a Batman doll at him, he's like, "Get him, Batman!" I think that's good.
Yeah, I'm Batman. Get him, Batman.
Yeah. But I think like I said earlier, I still think it's dumb that he didn't try to use any of his like 7 different powers against Savannah. At least attempt it.
Well, his whole I guess defense mechanism is just to run when things get tough. So
that's a good point.
I can see why he just kind of bolted and said screw it, but at the same time, like, you got all these powers, dude. Do something.
Actually, now that you mention that, yeah, you're completely right, because there's that part where he's in the changing room and he's looking at the mirror. He's like, "This isn't your job. You can run away. You don't have to do this."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're completely right. I'm an idiot. I really do enjoy when Billy goes home and the kids kind of piece together, like, "Oh, hey, have you noticed these weird things?" And they figure it out that Billy is Shazam. But at the same time, that is a huge leap.
Yeah, it's like, it kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, they haven't even seen him transform or they're near the house or anything like that. So it's like, how?
I do enjoy how lighthearted this movie is. I don't know if we've talked about that, but this is a very lighthearted, fun movie.
Yeah, at its core, it is. I mean, there's not a lot of dark to it aside from our villain.
Yeah, because there's like a couple horror sequences.
Yeah, and you're like, where are these coming from? Like the one where they're at the
office building. Yeah.
And the guy's like, he starts walking up to the window and everybody just slams against the glass. You're like, oh god, run! What did I sign up for?
Yeah, David F. Sandberg, he's a horror director first, so I like seeing that in this movie. I appreciate that.
That's good then. Yeah, because those scenes were really good. I felt like, I was like, hang on, this is not that kind of movie. What's going on?
Hang on, guys. What's going on here?
Yeah.
What do you think of the CGI in this movie? Because I think some of it's really good and some of it's kind of wonky.
Okay, so I agree with you on that. Up until like the amusement park scene, everything is really good. I think it looks really great. It's all fantastic. And then we get to that amusement park and I'm like, what's going on here? Did they run out of fucking money? Or...
I think some of the sequences in the park though look really good. Like when all the kids are using their powers and like Darla's like racing around. I'm like, that looks good. But then it cuts to a monster and I'm like, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, or like, you know when what's his name? Savannah? He smashes that glass or the ice.
Yeah. That doesn't look good.
Oh, it's so like, what is this?
No bueno at all.
Yeah. No bueno, dude. No bueno.
One of my biggest criticisms, I think I've mentioned this before on one of my videos, but one of my biggest criticisms with the DC movies is the final battles are rarely any good. But I think this one is pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked how they figured out the whole, if you divide all the sins from him, he's just a dude. That was pretty cool. And yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like the whole end fight sequence was really well done. Aside from some shitty CGI.
Yeah, some bad CGI, but I can forgive most of that. Right when Mary like kind of figures that out, and she's like, "All right, we're gonna run away. We're gonna get the monsters away from Billy. We're gonna get this done." And when they go to run, there's a long take sequence of them running, and the monsters just like picking them off one by one. And I was like, "This is terrifying. This is good."
It was terrifying, and the part that I hated was that they included Freddy in this because he's not making it far.
Like you're pretty much like you're sending him to die pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, he's not getting away. Like, get him out of here. Why are you doing this to my precious Freddy?
Mary's like, all right, everybody for themselves. Freddy, goodbye.
What about Darla too? Like, she's just a little kid.
Oh yeah, I think she gets taken first actually.
Almost immediately.
Yeah.
And then it's her and then Freddy, and I'm like, why? They're kids, dude. You're the only adult here. Why are you like this?
Mary, be responsible.
Yeah, come on, man.
God damn.
You're the only kind of adult here. Act like it.
I think I said earlier that my favorite scene was the convenience store. I want to take that back because my actual favorite scene is when they all like they share the powers. That is a fantastic moment.
I agree. I like when they do that flashback for Billy and it's the wizard like saying, share or like fill these thrones and everything.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, dude.
It's like, there's enough of them. Let's do it. Do the thing.
He cracked the staff over his knee. Like,
good stuff.
Nah, these are our powers now.
Yeah, good stuff. A question about that. Like, do they all have only one power? Because Freddy flies, Darla runs fast, Pedro's strong, Mary stands around.
Yeah, Mary does the thing.
She does the thing. And then the Asian kid has lightning powers. But, like, do they all just have one power aside from Billy?
Well, I think Freddy, when he transformed, he also had super strength. So I think they all have the same type of power, like the same power set.
Yeah.
They all just kind of went or defaulted to what they're good at.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah.
Whatever took less brain power for them to use.
Whatever saved the CGI budget.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the bit where Savannah and Billy are like a mile away from each other and he's trying to give like a big evil speech. I think that's funny. That's a good joke.
And I'm gonna eat your heart. And what?
What are you saying?
Pardon?
It's a good joke. So after the Shazam family, I don't remember what they're called. I think they're called the Marvel family in the comics. I don't actually remember. But they beat Savannah and his sins, and everyone has a nice Christmas dinner. And then we get that end cameo by quote Superman. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, wasn't that during Henry Cavill's dispute as to whether he was going to continue to be?
Yeah, because there was a lot of are you like, I don't think there's still a definitive answer whether he's still Superman or not.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, now he's Geralt, so
yeah,
I think he's moved on.
Damn, I like him as Superman. Like, those movies aren't good, but he's good in them.
Yeah, he plays Superman well.
He just needs
movies are trash.
He's
but
a better.
He's good.
He's a better writer director team. So yeah, that's Shazam. I best Christmas movie ever. Probably. No, it's not.
What do you mean? I mean, it might be a little better than Die Hard.
Oh, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, man.
I still think my favorite Christmas movie is probably Home Alone.
That's fair.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Me neither.
We should have reviewed Home Alone. No, I like the next one. I like this one though. I think this is a good superhero movie and a good Christmas movie.
It's very wholesome.
It is,
and
yeah.
I totally agree with you.
I don't. Are we done with it? I think that's it. I think that's all there is to Shazam. It's a movie that exists and it happened.
And you have a good time while you're watching it.
And you enjoy watching it.
Exactly.
And it's the best you can do with a movie.
I can't complain, right? Like, couldn't ask for more.
I think the real testament to a movie though is how much of it are you on your phone for? Like, if you're just watching it at home. That's how I rate movies.
That's fair, yeah. I was not on my phone while watching it at home.
Neither was I.
Hey! Movie.
Because I went on HBO Max and I was like, oh, it's on here. All right, cool. I'm gonna watch it and I'm gonna have a good time.
Nice.
And I had Chinese food.
Good stuff.
Good stuff. All right, thank you for joining me, Nostora. I really appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Glad to be on the show.
Hell yeah. This is the first time I've properly spoken to you.
I know. We talk on Instagram all the time. But...
Exactly. And then I was like, hey, do you want to do a review? And you're like, no, you're the worst and I hate your channel. I was like, all right, but what if
that's not what I said!
And then I was like, but what if I give you some money? And you're like, ooh, okay.
Wait, there's money involved?
All right, that's the end of it. Bye.